What's up, everyone? Joel is here, and welcome to the first episode of the new year and also of season three of the Jay Vice Show. Happy New Year's, guys. Hope you guys had a good New Year dinner and you enjoyed your Eve, your day, your Christmas, all that stuff for last year and everything like that. And I'm hopefully everything is going well with you guys and everything like that. So today, just wanted to talk about this real quick because honestly, I thought we was gonna be off to a good start for this year, but I can see not. Because I remember in the last webisode for season two, before this year was up, before last year, sorry, before last year was up, I had mentioned that I hope that this year would be much better and everything like that. I'll be more positive, not always, not being angry often or whatever like that, and just, just living life or whatever like that, and being happy and everything like that, and just like, just praying to God everything just continues to go well in my life, and just to, let him know that, not to, I mean, talk to him and let him know that, I'm gonna be more positive now, not to be angry at everything, and and I see hasn't been working that much because we're off to a great start, like I said, because with this year we have a lot of problems going on, and now this damn country wants to like start wars with other countries, especially with Venezuela and stuff, and I'm not happy about that at all. So I've been really disappointed in this man, and a lot of people have been disappointed. A lot of people have turned their backs on him, myself included, with Trump. And I don't know what the hell's going on with this guy, because he lied. He told us all these things he wasn't going to do and everything, and he's doing the complete opposite. All these lies, all these rallies he was having before he got elected, before we voted for him and got him in, he said he was going to do, and now he's just like pretty much backtrack on everything, did a whole like 180 or whatever like that, and now he's just doing all this shit, and now we're all pissed off. We're all pissed off. I'm pissed off and not a fan of him anymore. Honestly, I don't want this guy in office anymore. And then I hope that with the midterms, things can change. We can get more of, I guess you could say, like more of these idiots out of these seats. Even though I don't like the Democrats either, because I'm not on either side. I know a lot of people, like, because I've been really vocal on Twitter lately because of this shit. And, like, I'm not happy, So a lot of people, have been calling me out and other people and talk about how, we're the Democrat side, or we liberals, or we commies and all this stuff. Like, no, I'm on neither side. All sides are evil. All sides are evil. And I'm only focused on this country. That's what I'm talking about. And the things that I don't like here is, is a mess. I don't like the things that's going on, because all these politicians, they tell you one thing and they do the opposite, So that's the reason why from now on, actually, no, the last election I'm going to be voting in is for the governor election here in New York City, and then that's it. That's it. I'm not going to vote anymore ever again, because I'm going back to like my old self pretty much with that. Because back then, never wanted to vote at all, because I feel like when the people you vote for is always the same shit, always the same outcome. They all tell you lies or whatever like that, just to like fill your head with lies, just just gas people up or whatever like that, gas people's heads. And then when you put them in, you vote them in or whatever, they do the opposite of what they told you they're not gonna do. And it's crazy, because all those years back then, the way I was, and now I see that's how it always should have been, with me and with plenty other people. Don't vote because they're a waste of time. All these people are all the same. They're all gonna lie and they're all gonna do the opposite. And as far as I can see, with when it doesn't matter which party, Democrats, Republicans, people, I guess you could say like independents or whatever like that, all these people are evil. To me, I just see it as just the typical rich, white privileged people in suits that just love to start wars, and they still have this whole colonial mindset or whatever, and they just want to take shit. They want to steal and they want to kill, and now they want to kidnap, presidents and stuff like that. And this is crazy. Like, I really can't believe what's going on, and I'm like really upset, because things was always nice and calm, in the Caribbean or whatever like that, and Latin America, and then this freaking idiot one, like how all these damn warships and everything like that make it unsafe, for people to travel and everything like that. And I always travel. I always go to DR. That's my second home, and everything like that. And then you got this guy here starting all these problems, with my people, like I'm talking about with my Spanish people, and everything like that. The Venezuelans, they didn't do anything to you. Why the hell, you starting problems with them? And his administration's lying about drugs and all this shit. I ain't nothing, no, all bullshit. People all bullshit. The real people they're supposed to go after, they're not going after those people. These FBI and the CIA, all these people is freaking liars and they're all evil. Because we have all the stuff going on in this country, and they're not worried about that. They're too focused going after other countries, for their oil, and that's it, and starting more wars. Because I thought, and a lot of people thought, that we was avoiding World War III, if we would have voted in Trump, because with Kamala and all the shit she was gonna do, it was gonna be far worse than him, of course. So it was like pretty much it was like a lost situation for us. Doesn't matter who would have won, it would have been the same outcome and everything like that. Because if she won, it would have been us in war with like Russia, whatever like that, fighting for Ukraine, a corrupt country and everything like that. And now with this guy, we're gonna be fighting the same thing pretty much. Actually, we're gonna be fighting against them as well. Russia, China, and all these people, and also a lot of majority of Latin America as well. Because now a lot of these countries, like the countries that's really close to Venezuela, even in Venezuela, they're all mobilizing troops and everything like that. Cuba, same thing. Colombia, same thing. So everyone's getting ready for war, and it's just crazy what's going on, because you got this idiot coming out in his administration talking about, oh, there is no war. Oh, that was the fastest war then, or whatever like that. Like, yeah, this is good. You guys is good to see. You guys good to see. And then, talking all this shit and talk about, they fucked around and found out. That's what what's name said. Pete Heck said, like, yeah, you guys got to see who fucked around and found out. When war start. Because these are the people that aren't gonna be fighting. They're gonna be sending, your kids or whatever like that. And the poor to go and fighting these wars or whatever like that. Sending us pretty much. They're not gonna be fighting these wars. They're gonna be sending back and just making money off of wars, because that's all this country likes to do. So I'm just like really upset, and I just have to say, like, man, like, I'm just so sorry, to a lot of people, because I know a lot of people hated him and I ignored it. But then again, the Democrats hate him for other reasons. For the reason why I hate him is not really what they hate him for, because honestly, like I said, I don't like the Democrats either. I don't like what they're pushing as well. But I just don't like what he's doing with these wars. Like, I understand what the mass deportation. We all wanted that and everything like that. He's done some of it, but not as much. I guess he was just doing it to make it seem like, oh yeah, see, I did what you guys promised. I mean, what I promised you guys. If you guys voted for me, and just to kind of like just hide it and everything, just mask it or whatever like that. But I don't see anything going on with that. I don't see anything different. Still the same shit. A lot of these people are still in the streets, the illegals. So I don't see anything different with that. So it's just all bullshit. It just pretty much, like I said, they lied. They lied to all of us and everything like that. So that's what I have to say. I'm sorry for that, guys. And I do apologize, because I thought it was going to be America first, but it's definitely not America first and everything like that. And it's just crazy, because now we have a guy here that's now a war criminal. So he pretty much shares the same title with his master Nathaniel. How do you say his damn name? I just say Nathaniel or whatever. So because I heard a lot of people got killed, and they do want to lie to, oh, no one was killed. Like, yeah, okay. I saw all of it online on YouTube, right here on YouTube, and I saw it also on Twitter. And it's just crazy. Like, I'm just highly disappointed and really upset with this country. And more the reason why I hate it. More the reason why I hate it, and why I wish I had the money to just get the fuck out of it, because this country is never going to change. No matter who's in charge, it's always going to be the same shit. All these people, all they care about is money, and just making poor people's lives a living hell, while they get more rich off of us, and we just continue to stay poor or get poorer. If that's even rare. But yeah, so I'm just like highly disappointed, been upset for the past week, after this, and it's just I'm upset, I'm not happy, and then you have all these idiots, like a lot of them I already unfollowed, because they're like, yeah, I see what type of people you guys really were. You wasn't no America first. You guys are just warmongers and everything. So a lot of the people I haven't followed, that used to follow on there, like that was more on the right wing people, Republicans and stuff like that. And I could see that it was all just a lie, because like, you guys support this shit. You guys support more war or whatever like that. Not to be expected, because a lot of people, the ones I was following, of course, look like, rich, white privileged Americans, whatever. They don't give a shit. Not even like they even travel to these countries anyways. They stay within this country. So, they don't give a fuck about other countries or whatever like that. And they like to talk shit and everything, and talk about third world countries and poor people. And that's just like messed up. I don't like that, so and they like to think that this country's untouchable. Like nothing's ever gonna happen to us. But I can see that happening. That's changing. That's gonna change real soon. You know. But I just hope that I won't be here when it starts and everything like that, because it's just terrible, 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 terrible. And like I said, highly disappointing this guy. And now I want him out. Now I want him out. Now I want him in jail. You know, because he's a war criminal. He's evil. And his administration is the same shit, especially with that damn guy. I can't fucking stand him, Marco Rubio. There's another one. He's the one who's causing all the problems in the Caribbean and Latin America. You know, so I don't see he's. They claim I don't. I'm not gonna say he is, but they claim he's Cuban. But I don't see him as one of us. We don't claim him. You know, he's a master to the white men, the white evil men in suits, the elites. So yeah, and then that's that. You know, but it's sad, you know, because I really thought that things was going to change and we would have been on the right track, you know, because of the Democrats who was just supporting, you know, all this stuff with like this woke shit, DEI, what else they were supporting, this LGBT shit, what else they like to support, and illegals. And some more stuff too. Are just that's the main four that I know of. Oh, and racism. That's all they talk about as well. You know, so like, you know, we have that side with that, and then now we have this side of Republicans that love wars, love looting, love killing, now love kidnapping, and like to act all high and mighty. Still living in the colonial era. Like to preach about God and everything like that and claim to be Christians, but love to kill people and loot other countries and, you know, and all this other shit. And what else? Man, someone missing. So far they actually have more issues with them than the Democrats at his name. You know, but they're all the same. You know, all both sides are evil, both sides I don't like. So yeah, so don't say that. Don't think that I'm on the other side, or don't come at me saying that I'm a liberal. I turned now. I'm a liberal now, or whatever. Like no, I hate both of them. Both sides are evil. Both sides are evil. And as far as I see, it doesn't matter who you vote in. It's always gonna be the same outcome in this freaking country. It's just corrupt and it's just crazy. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention with the Democrats, what I noticed too, is money fraud. They love that, as you guys see what's been happening in Minnesota and everything like that. So yeah, but I mean, Republicans, you could say the same with that too, you know. So I guess, you know, like I would say with wars, that is sort of the same thing, you know, because they love to push for wars so they can make money off of it while we all suffer, you know. So yeah, so that's it. So I gotta say, like, I'm just highly disappointed, and I'm never, like I said, after actually I should say after the governor election later this year in November here in New York City, that's it. Not voting ever again, because it was just all lies. You know, all lies. They lied. They played us. They played a lot of us. And I see like a lot of people have turned on him. A lot of his people, me and plenty of others have turned on him. I do respect what's the name? Marjorie Taylor Greene that turned on him as well, because she said all the things that he said he was gonna do from like America First policies, he hasn't done. He lied to the American people, which is true, and that's why I respect her a lot for that. The other guy, I think his name is Thomas Macy or whatever, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, he's another one I really like and everything. And like he's like, I know Trump's been like attacking him a lot lately and everything like that, but I like that guy. Like I like what he stands for, and I can see that when it comes to politicians, I can see those two. I guess I can say I trust. You know, I can actually put a little bit of trust and faith in. You know, but when it comes to all the other politicians in this country, don't like them. They're all freaking liars and they're all evil. That's how I see it and everything like that. So yeah, so like I said, I want things to change in this country, and I want things to be better. You know, I want things to change. I want things to be better, and I don't ever see that happening. I don't ever see that happening, because now we have a Bush 2.0 in office and everything, that, you know, starting wars with Venezuela and talk about, oh, drugs. Oh, they had drugs. They're bringing in drugs. They ain't about no freaking drugs. It was all the whole time. We all knew that. And, you know, even they already changed it. They already changed their words and everything, and then talked about it. And now they talk about oil and how, oh, they agreed to give us this amount of oil or whatever. That's all it was about. It wasn't about no freaking drugs, because the drugs not even coming from there. It's all freaking lies. All lies. We know where the drugs come from. We know which countries they come from, and that's not the ones they mess with. So yeah, so it's just crazy, really crazy. And I don't know. Like I gotta say, like this country is a bully. They like to mess with smaller countries that are weaker. Weak, I would say the military is weaker, or whatever like that. And I see a lot of people on Twitter have said this, and I mean, I really don't want to agree with this, but I have to. And they said that when you look at other countries that the U.S. don't bother, they don't mess with, they don't try to fuck with. The reason why is because of nuclear weapons they got. So like North Korea, Russia, and stuff, they don't mess with people like that because they know better. They pick on these weaker countries. So on Twitter, it was saying like that's why these countries, these smaller, countries or smaller militaries, weaker militaries or whatever like that, needs to invest into that and have their own nuclear weapon because then this country won't mess with them, and that is 100% true. I do agree with that. I would never want a nuclear war, but at least having that, at least you'll be safe from these bullies and everything like that. So yeah, and these evil people. And yeah, so a lot of people have said this over the past weeks, and I gotta say it too, is you know, disappointed, ashamed, I should say, to be American, and and now more people hate us, more countries hate us, and it's kind of hard to even go to other countries when when you go there and they know where you're from, they're gonna want to like start problems with you, or maybe you want to kidnap you, or whatever, for ransom and shit like that, throw you in prison and think you're an American spy or whatever like that. So yeah, so this country is just making more enemies and having just less friends, and that's it. And this is crazy. I guess they don't mind as long as they have the Zionists, as long as they have them as allies. I guess that's all they care about. But yeah, so they'll have everyone turn on them. They don't give a shit. We're all gonna be slaves to them. So this is crazy. That's all I gotta say. And yeah, uh, I disappointed guys. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, I didn't really want to talk about politics or whatever like that. I already said that I wanted to cut down on that or not talk about it at all. But it's like a lot of what's going on in this world today has something to do with politics, and also something I really can't you know like stray away from right now, because this is something really serious going on in this country and around the world. And this is something a lot of people need to wake up to. Like this is something that everyone needs to look at, and hear. Go online and look up these stuff. Don't live your life. I said about your world. Don't live in your own world or whatever, your own little bubble, being oblivious to everything, being gullible or whatever like that. And just going about your daily lives, as work and home or whatever like that, or hanging out. Like these are things that you should know. But I guess in some words, ignorance is always bliss, right? Because I guess it's better that some people just want to, I'd say, live that way because it's better for them or whatever, not to stress or worry about things or whatever like that, or thinking negative. But it's always good to educate yourself and everything like that, and know what's going on in the world, and especially the world, the world around you, the country that you live in. Know about the government, how evil they are, and how they are not looking out for our best interests and only for themselves and everything like that. I've seen that already since 2020 hit. When with when it comes to the COVID C-19 or whatever like that. And I meant to say that because I don't know if they still like really censor that shit on there, but whatever. And pushing the poison on people, and for you to get to work or keep your jobs, or to go out and have fun, to travel. You guys didn't forget those days, right? Because I definitely didn't, and I definitely would never forget this country for that. Because they really ruined a lot of my plans that I had in store. From 2019, when I had everything set, what I was gonna do for the following years or whatever like that, and they just fucked it up. With this shit. So I'll never forgive them for that. So yeah, and so the government, that's this U.S. government is, I would say, is one of the most corrupt. One of the most corrupt. They like to talk about other countries being corrupt. This is the most corrupt. These people are evil. That's that. And guys want to tag me on it, whatever. I don't give a shit. So yeah, freedom of speech. So if you guys don't agree, you guys like him, all right, that's fine. You guys like Trump, that's fine. I don't mind. If you guys still agree with him, okay, good. And when there's freedom of speech, well, I gotta say that you guys that agree with him, you guys that still support him, and his little cults or whatever like that, just know that you guys are warmongers as well. You guys like this stuff. You guys support killing and looting and kidnappings and all that stuff like that, and that's wrong. I'm definitely, I don't want no part of that, and I don't see these people as being true Christians, or like really into God or whatever like that. I don't see that. I see all these people as evil and everything like that, because I definitely know I wouldn't do that. I see myself as a real child of God or whatever like that, because I would never ever think of doing shit like that. And then there's the Epstein files as well, so which they're hiding, since a lot of them are pedos and shit. So there's that too. But yeah, but anyways, that's enough talking. I talked long enough. And like I said, I don't really want to talk about politics too much. This is just something I really wanted to address, and something I've been like talking about lately on Twitter, and a lot of things I've been reading what other people have been saying on Twitter and here right here on YouTube, and it's something I really want to talk about. Even on Facebook, a few people was talking about it and stuff like that, and this is crazy because like I have this is what's it travel like group travel like a group like a Cuban travel group like tips or whatever like that for people who wants to travel there, so they give like tips like what to what to do before you go, like money, how much money to bring, stuff like that or whatever. And so I had joined it a couple of months ago since I had an interest in going there and everything, because I guess you could say I like I'm interested in like I guess you could say I like kind of I want to say weird, but I do like to like visit countries that are really like, to me, I guess they would be exotic or whatever like that, rare, because no one ever talks about them. Everyone usually goes to the usual places or whatever like that, and it's usually the spots that the government here tells us not to go, or warn us not to go, whatever like that. I usually be having an interest in those places or whatever like that to visit, and I always wanted to go, so that's why I joined the Facebook group and everything like that. Yeah, very nice people. A lot of them are Canadian and everything like that, but there's a lot of Americans as well in there. And that's when I was shocked, like, oh, I didn't know Americans could go there. And they said, yeah, like I never knew, because like I said, the government pretty much brainwashes to make it seem like we can't go there, but we actually can. It just you have to go through a little bit of jump a few little like obstacles and everything before we can. But it's not hard. It's not. I mean, I say it's easy, not difficult, but it's easy. So a lot of them when they was talking about it as well, and they're not happy what's going on. A lot of them are worried about like if what's gonna happen, because since this country, I'm not gonna say us because I'm not involved with this. Like I said, I want nothing to do with this. Like I said, I'm not one of them. That's all I gotta say. I'm not one of these people who loves war or whatever like that. I'm 100% against it, But they said the evil people, the terrorists, the criminals or whatever over there in Washington, those are the ones that said that they was gonna like Cuba's next or whatever like that, or Colombia's next or whatever like that. So yeah, so a lot of people's been worrying about that and everything, and I'm really upset too about it. But yeah, so because this country is trying, like, they're going back to colonial era, like I said, I want to take over other countries, a regime change, all this shit, like things that's always failed for years, and they still trying to push this shit. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna do anything. Just look at Iraq, look at Afghanistan, look at Libya, look at all these countries. So yeah, so this is crazy. This is crazy. But anyways, enough talking. I can go on for a long time because there's like a lot of things I just want to say, and it's just like I said, I'm just like really upset still, just like pissed off, that I was lied to and everything, and I voted for pretty much the devil, and his administration at all evil as well, and do his dirty work, do his bidding, and everything. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and everything like that. Like I said, all are welcome. Freedom of speech. If you guys disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not gonna remove your comment. I'm not gonna turn off comments like some people. Like, everyone's free to say whatever they want. Freedom of speech. That's what this country was founded on, and everything like that. Everyone has a right to it. If you guys disagree with me, that's fine. If you guys agree with me, that's great as well. And all that stuff. If you guys want to call me names and say I'm liberal, I'm a commie or whatever, go ahead. I don't care. Because I know I'm not, and everything. So yeah, like I said, freedom of speech. So you can say whatever you guys want to say in the comment section for whoever's gonna watch this or whatever like that. It's just stuff that I wanted to just talk about. Things I just wanted to vent on this because this is on my mind for a couple of days since they what's it kidnapped kidnapped Maduro, and yeah, this crazy when this country was going on, and I'm not I'm not a part of it, like I said. So like I said, a lot of people was angry at us and be angry at them, not me. Had nothing to do with this, and and that's about it. So yeah, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know, like I said, in the comments down below, and don't forget to like all that good stuff if you guys want to. I should say, I'm not forcing you guys. I'm not one of those YouTubers. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for another webisode on the Jay Advice Show for season 3 of 2026. Take care.